this program is a way to reset the body and to support your detoxification channels and feel great. But before we get started, we thought it was very important to introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit about who we are. So my name is Emily Mascarenas. I am a mum. You can see me in the picture there with my lovely 3 boys and my husband Tim. And I am also a dōTERRA Blue Diamond leader, and my page is blooming and glowing. And as soon as I became a mother for the first time, that's where it really all started for me, because I had this very intense desire to want to look after my family in the best way that I knew how and in the safest way, and to be really conscious about the product that we were using on and in our homes and on our bodies, and the exposure to chemicals and toxins in our daily lives. And so this is a subject I'm very passionate about today. And I'm going to hand you over now to my lovely friend and colleague, Sarah.
Thanks, Emily. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Barber, and my background is that I've been working as a nutritionist for almost 10 years. I am very passionate about health and natural solutions. And for me, it started in my late teens and early 20s when I was looking to lose weight and discovered a book that really opened up my eyes to, if I ate from nature and helped my body to find natural balance through natural solutions, not just through my diet, but through my lifestyle, then I didn't have to be on diets, and my body would just find its own balance, and I could just live in harmony with nature. So I'm really, really passionate about this subject too, and look forward to sharing some more information with you today.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to introduce you now to the dōTERRA Wellness Pyramid, okay? Now, many of you may already be set up with dōTERRA. You might have an account already, so that's great. But if you're not, then this is going to be something that you're going to want to learn about, okay? And I love dōTERRA in the fact that they are a health and wellness company, but they don't just say you can use our products and all will be well. That obviously would be unsensical to think that. You know, we really need to be addressing the whole picture and all of the lifestyle factors. So what we have here is a wellness pyramid, and this really is your foundation, okay? And this is a way that you can be looking at the different aspects of your life. So at the bottom, at the baseline there, we have nutrition, okay? And obviously that's so key and so important, as Sarah said. You know, what we're putting into our bodies is it's our petrol. It's what makes us function. And then moving up, you've got exercise and, you know, conscious use of moving our bodies and you know, getting the lymphatic system moving. All of that is going to help with your overall health and wellness and your energy levels. And then how are you resting and managing your stress levels? You know, we need to really be aware of how we are looking after ourselves in this respect, because we do lead stressful lives and busy lives these days, and we need to make sure that we're not always in that fight or flight mode, and that we do give ourselves that time to rest and digest. And then, of course, it's about being conscious of the toxins that we are exposed to every day and reducing the toxic load in our lifestyles, informed self-care and proactive medical care. Okay, so dōTERRA fits into every aspect of this pyramid, which is what I love about it, okay? So if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, and this is why it's such an important subject, okay? And now let's look a little bit more into the toxic load, okay? So these days we are exposed to, and this is quite shocking, many more toxins than our grandparents, for example. In fact, they say that we're exposed to more toxins in one day than our grandparents were in their whole lives. And that really shocked me when I heard it. there's a doctor called Dr. Reed, and he wrote a book called Health and Wellness in a Toxic World. And there was a study where a baby's umbilical cord was tested, and they found 287 toxins in the blood. Okay, so this had been passed on to the baby through the mother, and through the toxins that she had been exposed to. And we're passing these toxins down and onto our babies, onto our children. And they say that the air inside our homes these days is 5 times more toxic than the air outside. And this could be due to the cleaning products that we're using in our homes, air fresheners, the foods that we're eating, the flavorings that we're using, and sweeteners, for example. And then radiation, we're exposed to this also these days, from cell phones, from microwaves, from computers, even from the sun. So let's look at our exposure pathways, okay? So these are the detoxification channels in the body. So we have the lungs, the GI tract, and the skin, okay? So the skin actually absorbs 60% of what we put on it, okay? And an interesting statistic for you is that the average women these days, they put on over 515 different toxic chemicals on their skin every day as part of their standard beauty regime. And this is terrible, but the problem here lies in the fact that the beauty industry is not regulated, a little bit like the essential oil industry. So you may think that you're buying a natural product. They call it green labeling, and it's misleading. It's where a brand will lead you to believe that the product that you're buying is natural when actually it's not, okay? And the problem is you never really always know what you're getting. Okay, so how can we actually reduce this toxic load? Okay, so we can be avoiding toxic exposure in many different ways. One of the ways that you could address this is to be washing your produce with the dōTERRA lemon oil. It's very cleansing and detoxifying, okay? So you're even going to be wanting to wash your organic produce as well, with the lemon oil, to remove any pesticides or anything that may have actually still contaminated that fruit or vegetable. A plant or a fruit or vegetable can be grown organically, but if the testing levels aren't there, you still can't guarantee that some form of chemical has not come into contact with that product, okay? So you're going to be wanting to use about 10 drops of this oil in the basin or in a big bowl of water to wash your fruit and vegetables, and let them sit in there for at least 5 minutes, okay? And another way that you can be eliminating the toxins in your house is to be diffusing citrus oils to clean the air of pathogens, but also you're going to have the added benefit there because it's going to be uplifting your mood, okay? So these are other ways that you can be reducing toxic load in your lifestyle. You could be using the dōTERRA On Guard range. Now, On Guard is the protective blend that dōTERRA do. It's one of their most popular blends, and it contains very protective oils that help to ward off viruses and kill the germs. And they do a whole range of this amazing product. So you've got laundry detergents, cleaner concentrates, toothpastes, and this is really a nice alternative to some of the more chemical products that you might be buying over the counter in your everyday supermarket. And then also you need to be considering your skincare regime and what products you're using on your skin. As we've just looked at before, the skin absorbs 60% of what you put on it. So, you could be using a very natural product or creating your own, or dōTERRA do have a lovely range of skincare products that are all very natural and contain the essential oils as well. They do an amazing range called the Barrage range, which is very, very natural. And they've got a lovely skincare range and, hair care range as well. Okay. So number 2, the second way to be reducing the toxic exposure is to be supporting our defensive function. So let's look at this, okay? So what we need to do is we need to nourish and fortify our body. and give it the nutrients it needs to be well. Okay, so these days, unfortunately, we are not getting the same nutrition that we used to get years before, and there are several reasons for this. You know, our diet is a big reason. We're not, you know, always eating the right food and making the right choices. A lot of us are busy, we're on the run, we're often grabbing food. It's sometimes over processed, overcooked, and generally less nutritious. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you and pass you over now to Sarah, who's going to tell you about some of the products in the dōTERRA Cleanse and Restore kit that can really help with all aspects of what we're talking about today.
Thank you, Emily. Okay, guys, so here it is. Here's the dōTERRA Cleanse and Restore kit. It's a fabulous kit. I've used it myself. The first product that's in there is something called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And I'm going to talk about that first. So this pack is absolutely phenomenal. I've used it myself. When I first started working with dōTERRA and sharing the essential oils as a nutritionist, when I heard that they did supplements, I was not in the slightest bit interested, because, you know, I had my own favourite brands that I used. But after researching this product myself and trying it, I would not be without it. It makes me feel so much better. It balances my mood, it improves my sleep, and I notice a pain reduction when I'm taking this product. So it's actually dōTERRA's best-selling product, you know, even over and above all their beautiful essential oils, which I think speaks volumes. So anyway, the reason why this product is in the Cleanse and Restore kit is that it is giving us the foundation of nutrients that we need to help sustain us through this 30-day cleanse. So the product on the right, the Microplex VMC, this is a food nutrient complex. So this is your natural kind of food-based multivitamin and mineral product. But what I love about this product, and also the omega-3 product in the middle, is that these both have 9 essential oils contained in the product. And the reason why this is really, really great is not only is it fantastic to be getting things like frankincense, which has, you know, amazing benefits to cellular sort of health and vitality, but also the fact that we've got essential oils in these products. The essential oils are obviously oil-based, and our cells, which is where we really need these nutrients to get to be having an effect, our cells also have a fatty layer around the edge. And so the essential oils in the supplements are actually helping to carry the nutrients inside the cell as well. So it's very, very clever science that goes into these products. The essential fat in the middle, this is your omega-3 complex. And this is giving you the EPA and the DHA, which is really what we're looking for when we're taking an omega-3 product. And, you know, the research on omega-3 is that it does so much. It really does everything from, you know, brain health to immune function to pain. And I would say, you know, that probably nearly everybody on the planet needs omega-3. That, you know, there's a big you know, it's a big area of deficiency for most people. And also we need healthy fats when we're doing a detox to help the liver actually process the toxins as it's working. So that's really key there. And then the alpha CRS, this is actually really important as well for a detox, because what this is doing, this is giving us cellular nutrients to really help with the detoxification of the cell. So there's a natural cycle that goes on with our cells every day, and of cleansing toxins and bringing new nutrients and oxygen back in. What this alpha CRS is going to do is it's really going to help and assist and give the cells the nutrients they need to do this really effectively for us. And this product is also giving us antioxidants as well, which are key for health, but also detoxification.
Lovely.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to supporting the elimination functions themselves. So what we've got, you can think of our elimination pathways, or I sometimes call them detoxification channels, as primary chimneys and secondary chimneys. So our main ways of detoxifying, after our liver has detoxified our toxins for us, we have to actually get them out of the body. And the main ways that we do this would be either via the intestinal tract or via the urinary tract, and this is where the kidneys come into play. But if these two primary chimneys start to get blocked for a number of reasons, then the secondary chimneys come into play as well. We actually do a little bit of detoxification through these anyway. So breathing is one of our detoxification pathways, as is our skin. Our skin is actually our largest detoxification organ, actually. So sometimes we forget that, our skin actually covers a lot of our body, and it's actually our largest one. So that's why things like skin brushing can be a really nice support during a detox.
Yeah, and I think I often notice that when people are having breakouts of their skin, they might blame it on cold weather or on, laundry detergent, but actually it can mean that there's something going on inside that needs addressing.
For sure, yeah. Okay, so how do we support optimal elimination? So as it says there, we really want to ensure that these detoxification pathways, these chimneys, are flowing well, and that they are not clogged in any way. And we also want to prevent the overuse of our secondary chimneys. So if we are supporting the proper flow of those primary chimneys, so our intestines and our urinary tract, then we're less likely to get things like Emily was just mentioning. We're less likely on a detox to have skin eruptions, for example, or bad breath. That would be another an example of secondary chimney being overused and trying to detoxify through the breath if one of the primary chimneys were blocked. So what can we do about supporting these primary chimneys? So 2 products within the Cleanse and Restore kit that are doing just this. The Zendocrine, this is the detoxification complex. So this is actually a herbal complex, and the Terrazyme is a digestive enzyme. Is there a separate slide on each one, Emily, or should I talk about them now?
We're going to move on to that. And the Zendocrine complex isn't actually in the kit, is it, Sarah? But we do suggest it as an
Yes, thank you. Yes, that's correct. So gastrointestinal tract. So the Terrazyme, so I'll just talk about the Terrazyme first. So what can happen with the intestines is that as the previous slide was saying, these intestines, they're very, very long. If they're actually laid out, they actually can cover the length of a tennis court. So they're massively long, and they need support. So within the intestines themselves, we have something called villi, which are like tiny kind of microscopic hairs, as you can see in that first picture, and they're actually on the inside, the epithelial cells of our gut walls. And then on top of those villi, the microvilli are even finer hairs, and those ones are on top of the villi. And the function that these guys have is these guys are, this is the point in the digestive tract where we are actually absorbing the nutrients from the food and the supplements that we take in. And what can happen to these guys is that through a number of poor lifestyle and dietary practices, such as could be stress, it could be eating poor food choices, so lots of gluten, for example, actually starts to damage these microvilli, and then we're not able to absorb the nutrients in the same way that we were. And I don't know if I mentioned, but stress and toxins are the other 2. So all these things can really affect the microvilli's ability to absorb, but also they can get quite clogged up which is why we can use the Terrazyme in this case. It's a food-based supplement, and you can see there that the digestive tract plus Terrazyme equals tummy love. So we can use the Terrazyme. It's a food-based digestive enzyme product. And what is really lovely about it, it does a few different things. It's going to help unclog any congestion that, you know, in the villi and the microvilli, so in the gut, the digestive tract that we were just looking at. But also, you know, this is like your digestive enzyme. So it's actually going to help us break down the food that we're eating during the cleanse, help us get more nutrition out of it, so more vitamins, more minerals, more amino acids. And, you know, food enzymes are really great for helping to minimize any food reactions as well. So hopefully on this cleanse, you know, because we're going to make some small tweaks to our diets and clean our diets up a bit, we might not be having too many of the foods that our bodies might not like. But yeah, that's still a consideration, and that's really going to help.
Yeah, and I there's a nice example of if we think of our gut as our sort of gut garden, you could compare Terrazyme to a rotavator, because it really does help to clean everything up and eliminate anything that is clogging it up, which I thought was a really nice example of what it can do. And there's many reasons why we need the help, because we just, you know, often these days the fruit and vegetables are picked before they've ripened. They're not given the time to develop the enzymes in them, and we do have problem breaking them down. And there was a nice little study that they did using the Terrazyme, and they had 2 bowls of oatmeal, and they sprinkled the Terrazyme capsule in one bowl and left the other as it was. And after half an hour, you could just see that the bowl of porridge that had the Terrazyme in it was broken down. It was more runny, and whereas the one that didn't have the Terrazyme capsule in was hard and thick. And obviously, you know, this is what's going on in the gut, and the Terrazyme can really help us with that process.
I mean, I wouldn't be without the digestive enzyme. And what I love about the Terrazyme as well is that you've got their tummy tamer blend in there. So for people that some people kind of find that supplements might, for some people, you know, they get a repeat, or they feel that they might be sitting on their stomach. But it's almost like you've got, so clever, you've almost got your own enzyme within the enzyme to help it all work really smoothly. And you know, you've got different enzymes in here for all of the different food groups that you might be eating. And as you can see there, you know, this enzyme is completely suitable for people with gluten sensitivities, and it's got a different enzyme in it for each food. So there's lactase in here, which is going to help with lactose intolerance, so any dairy products that might be being consumed, even though later I'll be recommending, you know, that if possible we reduce these. But you know, it's got protease in here to help with, and amylase to help. The protease is helping with break down proteins. The amylase is what we naturally produce in our mouth for carbohydrate, breaking the food down, assimilation. So it's really clever that for every food type, whether it's a protein, a fat, or a carbohydrate, there's a different plant protein in here to help us break those foods down and get them into our cells. Okay, so pathways of elimination. So we've talked a little bit about this already, but first the toxins. After we've eaten the food, and the food, you know, passes through the liver, and any toxins get processed and kind of deactivated. That's what's happening in the liver. Then or it might be something that we're absorbing through our skin, like like we're touching surfaces that may have been cleaned with synthetic cleaners, or we're breathing in something. Everything is going to go ultimately to our liver first, where our liver deals with it. Normally what happens is it kind of, our liver helps to kind of wrap it up and make it safe to be then excreted out via one of our 2 elimination channels that we spoke about earlier, the kidneys or the colon.
Yeah.
So the second product then that we can use, so the Terrazyme is helping with the intestine, so the digestive tract, which is with the first one, but then the second one is the Zendocrine is the liver. So the liver has to be the very first one that we work with. And the detoxification complex is the herbal complex. It's not included in the Cleanse and Restore kit, but I did get it when I trialed this particular kit, and I think it makes sense. I really like it, and it's really working on the liver, it's working on the kidneys, and it's working on all 5 of our detoxification channels. So it's also supporting the lungs and the skin, so those secondary chimneys that I spoke about earlier. It's got things like milk thistle in it, which most of us will have heard of. It's got so many lovely things. It's got psyllium, rhubarb, barberry, kelp, milk thistle, safflower, acacia, marshmallow, dandelion, which is a really well-known herb for detoxification, garlic, red clover, burdock, and clove. So lots of lovely herbs in there to support all 5 of our detoxification channels. Okay, so the liver is king, I think the slide is telling us. So yes.
It is, yeah.
So the Zendocrine detoxification blend, so this is included in the Cleanse and Restore kit, and this is for anybody familiar with the Zendocrine oil, which I've actually got a drop of this in my water this morning. It's the exact same oils that's in the detoxification oil blend, but put in a little capsule. For convenience, it's just an easy way, because we're going to be taking a few of these every day. It's just a quick and easy way to be taking these lovely oils. Now, in this one, you'll see the oils that make up Zendocrine. You've got tangerine, which is a really great support for the liver, but it's also great for when we're on a detox. It helps us on a chemical level, it helps us not actually miss some of the things that we might not be eating. So for me, it's chocolate. I love chocolate, and if I'm not eating as much chocolate when I'm on a cleanse, normally every time I eat my chocolate bar, I might get a little, call it a dopamine hit, a little bit of satisfaction, a ding, because I've had my chocolate and I felt good and I'm feeling happy. What's really interesting is tangerine can actually do the same thing. So it's can help support me when I'm doing my cleanse, still feeling like I'm getting, those little dopamine hits through the day, even though I might not be having the coffee or the red wine or the tangerine or the chocolate, which I think is it's actually genius. I love it.
Well, I just wanted to add in there as well that during our 30-day program that we're going to talk a little bit about at the end, Sarah is actually going to be sharing some of her amazing raw chocolate recipes with us, which she is very talented at. And so don't worry, it doesn't mean that you can't still have the little treats that you love, but in a very healthy way. So yeah, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. And then the juniper is in there. The juniper berry is great for the kidneys, so that's supporting the kidneys and the urinary tract. And then the coriander, the cilantro, that's very well known for helping the body eliminate heavy metals. So there's not very many things that can do this. So that in itself is amazing, that you can use cilantro oil, coriander oil, and it's going to help us get any stored heavy metals. So things like maybe if we've got mercury fillings, or just being outside and breathing in petrol fumes. Old houses have copper pipes. There's lots of reasons why we might have traces of heavy metals in our body, and we definitely don't want them there. And the exciting thing is that the cilantro and the Zendocrine will help eliminate those. And then we've got also got geranium, and we've got rosemary in this complex as well.
And what's nice is you can actually use this on your children as well. You wouldn't suggest internally, but what you would do is you would pop the capsule or use the essential oil complex that Sarah had, and you can be applying this slightly diluted to their feet, and that's going to help them with their detoxification as well. And you can also be using some of the other products such as the Terrazyme. You can open the capsule and sprinkle some of that onto their food, so they are still able to benefit from these products.
Okay, so endocrine detoxification we've covered. So now we move on to what we call the renewal stage of the Cleanse and Restore program. So we've completed the activate stage. We've got to a point where our detoxification channels are open and ready to release toxins. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be working on eliminating any pathogens that might be in our gut garden that Emily was referring to earlier. So it's completely normal for everybody to have good and not so good, bad, if you like, bacteria in our guts. It's completely normal. Everyone needs the good and the bad. But what can happen sometimes, again, through things like poor food choices, might be stress, could be lots of antibiotics or intravenous antibiotics are some examples. What can happen is the balance of the good and bad can tip, and we can get ourselves into a situation where if we've got more of the bad guys than the good guys, then that can express itself in different types of poor health. So what we want to do in this stage, in the renewal stage, is take these, you can think of these as an antimicrobial or a gut cleansing product. And again, it's a blend of 6 different essential oils in a capsule to make it convenient. And also because these oils, the oregano wouldn't taste nice if we were to drink it. You can drink it, but it's pretty hardcore. And you can also see there's the caprylic acid in there, which comes from coconut. And that's also very good. It has a fantastic kind of pathogenic, antibacterial effect in the gut. So what we are doing with this product is we're just taking it for 10 days. And the oregano in there is, it's very well known for being anti-everything, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, even antiparasitic, which is the main reason that this one's in here, because it has such impressive antiparasitic properties. The melaleuca.
I was just going to say, Sarah, a lot of us have parasites and we don't realise. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Also a build-up of yeast in the gut as well, and candidas and things like that going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the thing. Often we don't necessarily know that we've got something. That's really true, So I think for me, doing something like this, once or twice a year is just, it's kind of like housekeeping for our bodies, for our guts. So yeah, the melaleuca and the oregano actually work very effectively together on bacteria in the body. But also in its own right, it's melaleuca, more commonly known as tea tree oil, is fantastic antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. And lemon oil, most of us will know that lemon is a great cleanser of the gut and the liver, but also specifically lemon oil and dōTERRA lemon oil, which we are able to take internally because of its purity, is it's going to have a much stronger effect, a much more effective, be much more effective at cleansing than if we were to drink lemon. It's a different chemical makeup because the lemon oil comes from the peel, and it has much higher levels of something called D-limonene in it, which is really what's doing the detoxifying here. And not only that, but our body will actually store toxins, petrochemicals that we might get through, drinking out of plastic bottles or plastic wrapped food. And we will store these toxins in the tissues and in our fat to keep it. It's a self-preservation that our body does to keep, really just to keep things away from our vital organs. But once we've got these petrochemicals in the body, we actually can't get them out again. Nothing can get these out, not even detoxification, unless we're using an agent like the lemon oil that has the D-limonene in it. And what that does is it actually has the ability to come into the body grab the petrochemicals, almost like wrap them up and safely escort them out of the body for us. And just a side note, that's also why for people that do eat meat, it's actually not a great idea to be eating the fat of meat, because that's where any medications that those animals may have been given when they're alive will go to. So if we're then eating the fat, we're eating kind of concentrated sources of medications as well, which we definitely don't want to be doing. Okay. Okay, so yeah, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme, all these guys work together. They've all got similar properties, but they will all be in there for a slightly different reason. And together, the sum of all six together is going to be a very kind of powerful but safe and effective way to detoxify. If at any point people feel like they're, I don't know, getting a detox reaction, getting a bit of a headache, if they feel that getting skin eruptions and they feel maybe things are going a bit too fast for them, all you would need to do is just take less or just give yourself a day off and then just reintroduce with maybe one of these rather than two. So it's a fantastic product, and I'm looking forward to starting again myself as well on the 19th of March with everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is a product that can be used with children as well. So again, you would pop the capsule and apply to the soles of the feet of a child.
Okay, so yeah, the GI tract, 70%, even higher possibly, we're not entirely sure, but around this amount is 70% of our immune system is actually in our intestines. So this is just phenomenal. So what we're really saying is that's why it's so important to look after the health of our gut, because 80% of our immune system, up to 80% of our immune system is inside. So we want to keep it really healthy, and a cleanse is going to help us do that. And someone once said to me, and this really resonates with me, we every day we wash the outside of our bodies. So why don't we take as much care to the insides of our bodies? And obviously a cleanse is going to be doing that. It's really cleaning out the insides of our. Imagine if we didn't wash the outsides of our body for 10 years or 20 years. So just a little.
And it's known as your second brain, isn't it? Your gut.
Yeah.
So.
And then the acidity is, you'll see it there, it's 1.3 is roughly equivalent to battery acid. So we have a very acidic gut, and this kind of brings us on to the next slide. The stomach acid is there because it does have a protective function for us. It's so that if we were to consume anything that wasn't good for us, then the stomach acid has a protective function.
Sorry, we just had a little visitor who just walked in to sing us his version of Wind the Bobbin Up.
Lovely. Yeah, we're having some Wind the Bobbin at home at the moment as well. So our intestinal microflora. So what we're wanting to do here is, the microflora is important. The microflora is the gut garden. It's the good guys, the friendly bacteria that we hear about. And they have many functions. So as you'll see there, they help with digestion. Just having lots of the good guys helps crowd out the harmful ones when they are exposed to us through everyday life. They train the internal skin cells for the immune response, so they're very tied up in immunity. They also help with things like absorption of food, and actually the gut bacteria do create some vitamins as well, which vitamins such as vitamin K. Some of vitamin K is actually produced by the bacteria. So things that, I touched on this earlier, but things that might impact the microflora, physical stressors. So physical stressors, chemicals and toxins. So anything that we're taking, it could be antibiotics, medications, cleaning products, anything that's finding, even just eating food that's not organic, we're going to be internalizing chemicals and toxins, and all these things are going to be having a negative impact on the friendly bacteria in our gut. An unhealthy diet, so too much sugar, too much alcohol, these things our guts don't like, because the sugar and the alcohol, the sugar in the alcohol actually make the bad guys in our guts proliferate, and obviously we don't want that. And antibiotics is written in red because in my work we call them risk factors. The biggest risk factor to getting an imbalance in your gut flora is more than one course of antibiotics side by side, or intravenous antibiotics in hospitals. So it's really, really important. There's many things that all point to the fact that we all need to be taking regular probiotics. So compromised microflora. So this is how we may be feeling if we have got imbalanced gut flora. So some of the symptoms are we might be having digestive discomfort. We might be having sensitivities. So we might be sensitivities as in reactions to things, because our immune system has been affected, and maybe even the gut wall. So the microfilari that we were talking about earlier getting damaged, then predisposes us to, it kind of causes inflammation in the gut wall. So then when we're eating things or coming into contact with things that normally would be fine for us, now because of that situation, they're no longer fine for us because of the inflammation in the gut wall. Some of these things like food molecules that would normally stay inside the gut actually are getting in to the blood and causing an immune response, and therefore we're getting a sensitivity. Chronic GI challenges are also something that we might be experiencing. And then the last stage of the program, which kind of continues on from what I was just talking about gut health, is the restart and renew. So really what we're wanting to do is put some friendly guys back in to help repopulate the gut flora, help give us some more of the good guys, but also within this product. So dōTERRA's probiotic is called PB Assist, and again there's some very clever science around this product. Is there another slide, Emily, on this one? Yeah, thanks. So this one, I recommend that everybody takes probiotics a few times a year anyway, again just for good health, good practices, and good health care. What I love about this product is you have a probiotic, which are the good guys that I'm talking about, to give us more of the friendly bacteria. But also in here, we have something called prebiotic fiber. And what prebiotics do, and prebiotics tend to come from certain vegetables, they help the probiotics actually adhere to the gut wall of the intestine. So rather than us just taking probiotics and then just passing back out again, the prebiotics help the good guys actually to be able to populate in the gut and stay there. They also provide an energy source or a food source for the probiotics, the friendly bacteria that's already in the gut. So will help. So it's sort of doing two things. It's helping the probiotics that you're taking in the capsule stay in the intestines, but it's also a food source. So we're helping to for the good guys that are already there to multiply further. And also you'll see these very cool looking capsules. They're actually micro encapsulated because of what I was talking about the battery acid. Our stomach acid has the pH level of battery acid. So what dōTERRA have done is they've made these very clever capsules, and they've micro encapsulated them so that there is a protective outer layer. So when these capsules hit the stomach acid, that battery acid, then the actual probiotic and prebiotic is protected and can then get down into the intestines and are then released there, which is where they need to be.
And they contain chlorophyll, which is what is feeding the good gut bacteria. which is really interesting to see that green colour.
Lovely, and they look so cool. I love taking these.
Because also the other thing that is notable here is the fact that they contain 5 billion CFUs, which actually is quite low, isn't it, Sarah, in comparison to some others. However, the big difference here is that you can guarantee, because of the way that the capsule is formulated and the fact that it's micro encapsulated, you're really guaranteeing that those 5 billion probiotics actually do reach the gut and aren't destroyed on the way by the gastric juices, which what tends to happen with other probiotics.
For sure, lovely.
So,
okay, so this is just really showing that there's different strains. So, you know, with probiotics, there are many different strains, different bacterias, and what dōTERRA have done is they've specifically picked certain bacterias that they know that the upper gastrointestinal tract like and need, and then some different ones, the B bifidum and the B longum, which are more needed for the lower GI. So again, a lot of thought has gone into which strains to use. They've looked at the research, because, you know, not all probiotics are the same, because it really does, what strains are used is actually very key, because some have been researched and proven to help with, you know, with health and wellness, and others have less research. So dōTERRA have consciously chosen some really good ones there. This one I've talked about already. It's really just feeding the good bacteria and helping the probiotics that are in this product adhere to the gastrointestinal wall when they get there.
So that's it. And Sarah's talked so beautifully about the products, but this actually, this completes the Cleanse and Restore kit that you would need to be on the Cleanse and Restore program, which is obviously a 30-day program with these amazing products. And as you can see now, it really is a way to just totally reset the body and clean it all up. And clean up that gut garden. So what you have here in this kit is everything you need and all the tools that you need to transport you to a better way of health. So you have at the top there, you have your Lifelong Vitality Kit, and you would take that throughout the program. You would take 2 of each of these with your morning and afternoon your meal. And then after that, you would also have the TerraZyme, which is your digestive enzymes, and you would also take those with each meal to help to break down and assimilate the nutrition from your food. And you would also be taking the Zendocrine detoxification blend with each meal throughout the program. Now, we obviously spoke about the Zendocrine detoxification complex as well today, which is another product that we would suggest adding on to this kit should you choose, which is your herbal extracts that Sarah spoke about. So then for the second phase, which is your reset phase, so we have the 3 phases. We have activate, reset and renew. The second phase would be when you've got those elimination pathways open, and then you're ready to really do the cleansing part of the program. So that's when you would be taking the GX Assist, which is your gut cleanser, and you would be taking them with your morning and afternoon meals from days 11 to 20, okay? And that's going to just be cleaning up that gut garden. And then the final part of the program would be to repopulate that gut garden and reseed and replant your good gut bacteria to flourish. So that at that stage you would be taking the probiotics that dōTERRA offer, the PB Assist, from days 21 to 30, and you would take one of those with each meal. Throughout the program, you can be taking your lemon oil in water that you're drinking every day. Now, you do need to be drinking, when you're drinking citrus oils in your water, you do need to be drinking from I'll show you my bottle. I have a glass bottle here, or stainless steel or ceramic, because the detoxifying nature of these oils mean that they will draw out the toxins from any plastic containers as well. And obviously you don't really want to be drinking those because that will be doing detriment rather than benefit. So you do want to be drinking your oils in a suitable container. So yeah, you'll be drinking lemon oil throughout the program, which is very cleansing and detoxifying and full of D-limonene, which Sarah spoke about. But as another option, if you're wanting to address weight loss in a natural way, but you know, in a slightly more powerful way than the lemon oil, then you might choose to buy Slim and Sassy, which is actually known now as Smart and Sassy in the UK. And this is actually it's the metabolic blend. So this would be a product that you would use for added weight loss. Now, we don't suggest doing this program for rapid weight loss. It's not what it's about, but these are great products to use should the body actually need to shed some extra pounds. And what this product will do, it will help to release the toxin from the body and from the fat cells, as Sarah spoke about. And it also, because it contains peppermint, it helps to manage the appetite and curb any cravings that you might be having. And it supports your energy levels and healthy insulin response as well. Okay, as it says there. So this is another product that you could be adding to your water to drink daily. So that's it. That is the 30-day Cleanse and Restore kit that dōTERRA offer. And now we're going to tell you a little bit more about what we're offering as a community to you guys to join us throughout this program. And this really is a community project that's based around that kit, but also we're going to be drawing on the wisdom and the knowledge of our team of wellness warriors to really invite you into something that is so much more than just the standard cleanse. It's more of a 3-dimensional cleanse for physical and for emotional and for spiritual nourishment. Okay, so if you wanted to join us for this program, what you would need to do is purchase the Cleanse and Restore kit either through your account if you're already set up with dōTERRA, or if you're not, you need to be working with the person who's invited you to where you are now and introduced you to dōTERRA, and they'll help you to get set up. The great thing is that this kit actually includes free wholesale membership, which means you're going to be getting 25% off the products on this purchase and also for the rest of the year, should you wish to replace any products or try some more of the beautiful range that dōTERRA offer. Okay, and on top of all of this, you're also going to get so much more. So you're going to get access to a closed Facebook forum where we're going to be there with you, guiding you through the whole journey, sharing tips and guidance and recipes with you to inspire you into a more natural way of eating and to make healthier choices. We're going to be sharing rituals with you and practices and just amazing nuggets of daily information to really help you on this journey to finding a better you and certainly a better health. So yes, if you want to join us, you need to purchase the kit and get started. The other thing that you're going to get from being part of this program is access to competitions as well. So you're going to have the ability to be able to win hundreds of pounds worth of free prizes during the program, which will be announced on the Facebook forum. So you're really going to get so much. You also get a free starter kit to help you to get going from ourselves to you with love. And this will include a few essential oil samples that we're going to use throughout the journey in recipes and in aromatherapy practices with our guidance from our experts. And you're going to get a little bracelet as well that you can be using with the aromatherapy. So we're really going to be touching on the emotional side of aromatherapy and how you can use these gifts of nature to change your mood and change your emotional habits. You're going to get some handy, useful resources and even a little crystal from us to you with love, which is going to help with the cleansing and the blissful element of what we're doing. And then as an optional add-on, should you wish, you can also, for any first-time enrolments, doTERRA have got a special offer on at the moment where you can purchase this optional add-on bundle, and it's called the On Guard bundle, okay? And this contains some really nice products that we will also use during the program for the green cleaning your toxic home part of the course. So you have in this kit a cleaner concentrate, which will be making up lovely cleaning products for your home without the chemicals. You've got some On Guard foaming hand wash, which is a great immune boost, but obviously doesn't contain anything that's going to diminish the good gut bacteria that you need. You've got the On Guard whitening toothpaste as well, which the whole family tend to love. My children love it. And then free with this kit, should you choose to add it on as an optional add-on with any new enrolment, you're also going to get a free 5ml balance oil, which is the grounding blend, a great oil for anxieties and stress, and also a free 5ml wild orange oil as well, which is known as the happiness blend. And this bundle is on special offer at just £39 with any new enrolment orders. So basically, the Cleanse and Restore kit that you buy through doTERRA is £168, and that gives you access to all of this. And it really does take a tribe to raise the vibe. So it's really all about the community that you're going to have access to, and the top guidance from our experts that, you know, just have so much wisdom on all areas of the health and wellness industry. So we hope that you will be joining us. There is an Eventbrite listing here, or do work with the person who's introduced you to doTERRA, and we look forward to helping you to find your bloom and your glow with us. I hope you've enjoyed what we've shared with you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And we'll see you on the 19th of March. If you want to get started, you can get your kits now. So do be speaking with whoever you need to speak to get started. So we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.